The mission began with silence. Captain America received intel from S.H.I.E.L.D. Hydra's been running a new super soldier project off the books. Somewhere deep in the Austrian Alps, hidden beneath snow and shadows, an abandoned Hydra base had suddenly gone active again. Steve Rogers didn't hesitate. Hydra had always played God, but this time, they had gone too far. When Captain America arrived, he expected soldiers, machines, resistance. Instead, he found ruin. The front gates were torn apart like paper. The snow was stained red. The air stank of burning metal and death. Inside, the halls were dark, flickering with broken fluorescent lights. Bullet casings everywhere. Hydra soldiers lay dead, not shot, not bombed, but slaughtered. Something was wrong. He pressed deeper into the complex, hearing only the echo of his boots and the faint hum of generators buried beneath ice. Hydra's data logs told him of Project Rebirth, Phase X. Their goal had been to surpass the serum that created him, to erase weakness, morality, even humanity. The test subject was no volunteer. He had been a man once, a violent criminal, a murderer, a ghost from a small town in Illinois. Michael Myers. Hydra found him comatose, unkillable, his body showing impossible regeneration. They called him the perfect vessel for their serum. But when he woke up, the scientists realized too late that they hadn't created a soldier. They had unleashed evil in its purest form. Captain America heard movement, a slow, dragging step echoing through the corridor. He turned a corner and froze. A towering figure in a dark jumpsuit stood in the shadows, white mask gleaming beneath the flickering light. In his hand, a bloodied kitchen knife. For a moment, neither moved. The soldier and the shape, the symbol of hope against the embodiment of horror. Then, the monster stepped forward. Steve raised his shield. "Hydra made you," he said, voice low. "But I'll be the one to stop you." Myers didn't answer. He never did. He simply lunged. The clash was brutal. Captain America fought with all the precision and power of a trained warrior, but Myers didn't fall. Every strike that should have broken bones only staggered him. Every shield bash that would have ended a normal man barely slowed him down. The Hydra serum had made Michael stronger, faster, immortal. Steve smashed him through steel doors, fought him across labs filled with shattered glass and burning machines. But the more he fought, the more he realized something horrifying. Myers didn't feel pain. He didn't stop. He didn't even bleed. In the final chamber, where Hydra's equipment still glowed faintly, Captain America triggered the facility's self-destruct. "Hydra created you," he said, standing between Myers and the exit. "They thought they could control a monster. I won't make the same mistake." Myers tilted his head, the silent recognition of something primal, ancient. Then he charged. The explosion tore through the mountain. Hours later, S.H.I.E.L.D. found Steve in the snow, battered but alive. He said nothing about what he saw last, about the shadow he thought he saw walking calmly through the flames. The report said the Hydra base was destroyed, but when the rescue team searched the ruins, there was no trace of the body. Only a mask melted around the edges, and a single kitchen knife driven deep into a steel wall. Snow fell in silence over the wreckage of the Hydra facility. Flames had died, leaving only the hiss of cooling steel and the whisper of wind. Captain America stood alone among the ruins, bruised, burned, and haunted. He'd fought wars. He'd seen gods and monsters. But this was different. Hydra's arrogance had turned a murderer into something unstoppable. And Steve Rogers, the man who once believed every monster could be redeemed, felt something he hadn't felt in years. Fear. A small European town sat buried in frost. The locals whispered about strange noises at night, power lines cut, people vanishing from their homes. When Steve arrived, He didn't wear his uniform, just a heavy coat, shield slung over his back. To them, he wasn't Captain America tonight, just a soldier looking for a ghost. He found the first body near the frozen river, a Hydra scientist, one of the few who'd escaped the blast. Steve knelt beside him, looking at the knife wound. He's here. From the forest beyond the river came that same slow rhythm of footsteps crunching through the snow. Michael Myers stepped out from the mist, mask cracked from the explosion, jumpsuit scorched but intact. His body moved stiffly, burned but unbroken. For a long moment, the two just stared across the snow, the last soldier of hope and the last remnant of Hydra's madness. Steve spoke first. You were made to be a weapon, but all you became was hate. No answer, no sound, only the hollow breath behind the mask. Then Myers started walking forward, slow, deliberate, inevitable. The fight tore through the frozen village. Captain America moved with precision. Every swing of the shield rang like thunder in the cold night. Myers took each hit and kept coming, his strength monstrous, his silence unbearable. They crashed through wooden houses, through fire and ice, through a collapsing bell tower. Each time Steve knocked him down, Myers rose again, until finally, Steve drove the edge of his shield straight into the creature's chest, pinning him against the bell's massive bronze surface. The toll of the bell echoed across the valley, deep, final, mournful. For the first time, Myers staggered. He looked at the shield embedded in his chest, then at Steve. And for just one moment, Steve saw something behind those hollow black eyes, a flicker of pain, not fear but memory. A boy who once stood at a window in Haddonfield, staring at the world he'd never be part of. Steve pulled back, breathing hard, watching the snow fall between them. I don't know what's left of you, he said quietly, but this ends here. He triggered the detonator on his gauntlet, calling the Quinjet's drone strike on the frozen tower. Myers lunged, silent and feral, knife raised high. And the sky exploded. The blast shattered the tower, fire and ice twisting together in the dark. When the smoke cleared, all that remained was a crater of burning snow, and the captain's shield, half melted, glinting in the light. Days later, Steve stood at the edge of the crater, shield reforged, staring into the void below. He'd searched every inch. No body, no mask, no trace. Just a faint outline of footprints leading away into the forest. He whispered to himself, voice breaking against the cold wind. Evil doesn't die, it waits. Then he turned, walking into the dawn, his silhouette fading into light. A cracked white mask buried halfway in the frost, the faint sound of breathing beneath the wind.